Hello and welcome to the Papyrus TV Africa News Update. I am Christiana Babayo, but before we begin, the headlines. Federal government ditches mother tongue teaching policy, declares English Nigeria's sole classroom language. Ogun Subeb boss rallies pupils to build a future worth studying. Bamidele Kalu clash over rumored plot to unseat Akpabio. And now the news in full. In a bold reversal of a major education policy, the federal government has scrapped the use of mother tongues as the language of instruction in Nigerian primary schools, declaring English the official teaching language from primary to tertiary levels. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa announced the policy shift on Wednesday in Abuja at the Language in Education International Conference 2025 organized by the British Council. Alausa explained that the decision followed in extensive research showing that pupils taught in local languages struggle to grasp foundational literacy and numeracy skills, which in turn led to poor performance in national examinations. The now cancelled 2022 National Language Policy had stipulated that children from early childhood to primary 6 be taught in their mother tongue or the language of their immediate environment. However, Alausa said the ambitious policy faced serious implementation challenges given Nigeria's linguistic diversity of over 500 languages. Alausa maintained that the government's new directive aims to create uniformity, improve learning outcomes, and better prepare Nigerian students for global competitiveness. The announcement marks a dramatic shift in Nigeria's education landscape, one that could reshape how millions of children learn and communicate in classrooms nationwide. Ogun State pupils have been encouraged to keep their eyes on their books and their minds on the future, as the chairman of the Ogun State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Joshua Ifede, charged them to prioritize learning over distractions and make full advantage of opportunities that education brings. Speaking during a colorful presentation ceremony in Abeokuta, Ifede reminded pupils that education remains the surest pathway to success and self-reliance. He said the state government is deepening its collaboration with corporate organizations and generous individuals to ensure that every child in Ogun State has access to quality education. The event witnessed donation of 13,500 branded exercise books, 750 chairs and desks, 200 cartons of geisha food products to school children across the state by JFE Shoji Corporation and Kawashu Foods Corporation, two new Japanese companies with a long history of supporting educational development in Nigeria. Commending the donors, Ifede describes their gesture as a gift of hope that transcends physical materials. He added that this was the 8th consecutive year the companies have supported Ogun's SUBEB initiatives, reflecting a sustained partnership that blends private goodwill with public purpose. Ifede reaffirmed that the state government under Governor Dapo Abiodun remains steadfast in building a robust education system where every child, regardless of their background, can thrive. The Senate was abuzz on Wednesday after a difference of opinion emerged between two prominent lawmakers, Senate Leader Gbemi Bamidele and former Chief Whip Orji Uzokalu, over an alleged plot to impeach Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Bamidele firmly denied that any senator had ever discussed or attempted to remove Akpabio, describing such reports as baseless fabrications designed to stir division within the upper chamber. Addressing the Senate during plenary, the Ekiti Central lawmaker declared that the Red Chamber remains united and focused on national priorities, not internal politics. His remarks came less than a day after Kalu told journalists that some senators had indeed made attempts in the past to unseat Akpabio, but were stopped by senior members who intervened to protect the Senate's unity. Kalu, a former Abia state governor, insisted that the Senate's work must remain pro-people, emphasizing that their goal is to make laws that will help Nigerians eat 3 times a day. The latest disagreement comes against the backdrop of last year's political tension when rumors of a northern senator's conspiracy to remove Akpabio led to an emergency vote of confidence in his leadership in October 2024. We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Papyrus Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets To birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Papyrus Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue.
Commuters along the ever-busy Lekki-Ajah corridor are set for a long but transformative journey as the Lagos state government has announced the commencement of an 8-month road rehabilitation project expected to redefine traffic flow and ease the daily gridlock in the area. The project, which kicks off on Saturday, November 15th, 2025, will run until Wednesday, July 15th, 2026, according to a statement by the Commissioner for Transportation, Mr. Oluwaseun Oshiemi. Oshiemi said the rehabilitation will breathe new life into one of Lagos's most important routes, long plagued by congestion, potholes, and poor drainage. He added that the work will be carried out in 2 phases to reduce disruption of motorists and businesses along the route, noting that preliminary works such as site preparation and traffic management arrangements are already underway. The commissioner assured that traffic diversion plans have been mapped out in collaboration with traffic management agencies to ensure minimal inconvenience during the project's execution. The announcement has sparked cautious optimism among Lagosians. While many commuters brace for temporary inconvenience, others see the project as a long overdue step toward resolving the persistent traffic nightmare that defines the Lekki-Ajah corridor. By July 2026, the government hopes that patience will finally pay off with smoother rides, shorter travel times, and a corridor worthy of Lagos's growing status as a global mega city. Former Senate President Bukola Saraki has called on the People's Democratic Party to suspend its planned national convention scheduled for November 15 to 16, 2025 in Ibadan, citing ongoing legal disputes and political tensions threatening the party's stability. Speaking after a meeting with the PDP of Trustees Reconciliation Committee led by Ambassador Hassan Adamu, Saraki described the current atmosphere as too volatile for a legitimate convention, warning that conflicting court rulings could invalidate its outcomes. He stressed that party unity cannot be achieved through litigation, but through dialogue and consensus building, urging the leadership to set up a caretaker committee within 2 days to steer the party towards reconciliation. The former Kwara governor's warning underscores mounting anxiety within the PDP as internal divisions and legal battles continue to threaten its cohesion ahead of upcoming elections. In a move that brings relief to importers and consumers alike, the federal government has suspended plans to implement the 15% ad valorem import duty on premium motor spirit and automotive gas oil diesel. The announcement was made by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in a statement posted on its official Twitter handle on Thursday. According to George Enelta, the Director of Public Affairs at the NMDPRA, the proposed import duty earlier approved by President Bola Tinubu is no longer in view. The planned policy had stirred anxiety across the oil and gas sector, with industry stakeholders warning that such a levy could trigger a sharp rise in fuel prices and further strain the nation's inflation-hit economy. However, the NMDPRA's latest statement has calmed nerves, reassuring Nigerians that there is currently adequate fuel supply nationwide, with stock levels comfortably within the national sufficiency threshold, even during this high-demand period. The suspension signals a responsive adjustment by the government to the realities of the downstream market and a strategic attempt to stabilize energy costs amid global price volatility. For now, motorists and importers can heave a sigh of relief as the government appears focused on maintaining price stability, steady supply, and economic balance in the nation's fuel sector. And that's all we have on the Papyrus TV Africa News Update. I am Christiana Babayo. Thanks for joining us.